All right, hey, it's Paul from China Cash Buyers here in Washington, D.C. And today we're going to talk about the Chinese dream. This is kind of my dream. I've never been to Washington, D.C. before. It's my first time. And we're having a great time with Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, just checking out everything here. To me, it's a bit like I'm in a movie or something because I never imagined I would be here. 26 years living over in Asia, I never thought I would come back. So I'm back here. We're on a tour of 48 cities in the U.S. And I hope you're following along on the videos, giving tips and things that you can do to implement to sell real estate to Chinese buyers. But today's a little different. Today's talking about the Chinese dream. And it's probably something you know very, very little about. Everybody knows about the American dream. It's like, you know, have a family, have children, 2 children, a girl and boy, a house in the suburbs, a car, you know, and a good job. This is kind of the American dream, or the traditional American dream. The Chinese dream is a little bit different. Basically, the Chinese dream, there's many definitions of it, okay? So I'm not saying that there's one definition, I'm gonna say the only definition, but about 94% of wealthy Chinese either are buying a home overseas or are planning to buy a home overseas. And think about that, 94%. I mean, it's an incredible figure. Before, Chinese were not able to move around. They couldn't get visas. They couldn't leave the country. They couldn't even travel inside of China. It was very difficult to go to a new city. From Beijing, for example, to Shanghai, or from the countryside to Shanghai was really, really difficult, especially during the Cultural Revolution, a lot of the turmoil. And there was in that whole turmoil was created a real desire for Chinese for a better life. And that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing the breaking out of this whole thing where all of a sudden the families are like, yeah, I want to live overseas. I want to live in Paris. I want to live in New York. I want to see the best. I want to eat the best food. I want my kids to experience a great life. And that's what we're seeing. It's really a bursting of excitement from the Chinese side. I'm going to tell you a little bit my experience about the Chinese, the way Chinese think and the way Chinese dream or imagine the future. This is an interesting story. When I came to China in 1989, I went, there was a Kentucky Fried Chicken near Tiananmen Square. And I wanted to go just to see what was going on there. I love Chinese food, no problem there, but I just wanted to see what it was like and who was there. So I went into the KFC, and very interesting, it was full of people. There was people everywhere, but nobody was eating Kentucky Fried food. They were all eating like guazar and, you know, sunflower seeds and drinking tea and everything, and nobody was eating anything from there. And so I ordered my food and I sat down and I just stared at the people. I looked at everybody and I was wondering what they were doing. A lot of people I talked to, the other foreigners, thought that they were wasting, you know, taking the space and kind of stealing the electricity, because people were very poor in China at the time. So electricity was something totally, you know, most houses didn't have it, and especially air conditioning was really unusual. Actually, I was there in the winter, so, no, that was the summer, yeah. So air conditioning was super unusual, and people were enjoying the cool, you know, table and the nice bathroom. But what they were really doing, and this is what I figured out, is they were dreaming. People were sitting in Kentucky Fried Chicken. They couldn't afford to eat yet. They couldn't afford to eat a Kentucky Fried Chicken, but they could afford to sit there and dream. And they would sit there and they would look at the menu, and they would sit there and they would look at the menu, and I just, over time I realized they actually want to eat here. They're not just trying to sit here for free. And that's exactly what happened when the Chinese middle class grew and people started having money. KFC became the largest restaurant in China. I think it is still today. It's humongous. Every single corner or mall, or, you know, just a little area, you'll find a Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's actually going down in popularity right now, but KFC is a massive success. And what it was is, originally people would sit there and think about it and dream about it. And that's exactly what you have right now. You have, in the next 5 years, we expect 60 million new families to immigrate to America. 60 million. These families right now what do you think they're doing? They're sitting at home and dreaming. They're looking on the computer. They're looking at pictures. They're looking at pictures like this. They're looking at pictures like Lincoln Memorial. They're looking at these things and they're thinking, what would it like for me to be there? What would I get if I lived there, right? They're looking at WeChat, the Chinese Facebook. They're looking at pictures, right? And they're starting to think, well, if I went to Washington, who would I talk to? Who would I meet? What's there? What's the food like? What would my life be like? If I went to Hollywood, would I be a movie star? You know, they're thinking all these things. They're dreaming. They're really dreaming of a new life. And when they do that, they connect with people overseas. And the people they connect with, just much like myself, when I connected with Chinese early on in the Chinese economic growth, I made a lot of friends that ended up purchasing properties and making and doing very well in my career because of that. You're in the same position right now. They're over there, you're over here. Show the tourist sites, show the food, give them a flavor of what it's like to be in your area, like as if it was them in it. You know, send the pictures, send the family, send things that you think are really boring. Like sometimes a picture of the sky is something that's interesting, because in China the sky tends to be very polluted. So just seeing a blue sky is a beautiful thing to a Chinese family. So take pictures of your area and post them on WeChat and post them on Facebook, and try to give on your blog, try to give people a feeling so that the people that are out there dreaming contact you to start to communicate. If you have a WeChat full of people who are over in China still now, and they're thinking, oh, I'd love to go over there, but I don't know anybody and I don't know where I should start. And if you're the person handing them that information, I think you can start to feel the power that is, because that is exactly where you want to be. You're not pushing houses, you're giving information. And it's not taking much time. You know, maybe like once a day or every 2 days, you're posting a picture, you're replying to comments, and you're starting to build that network of people that want to come to your area, or getting introductions from those people, of people that want to come to your area. You know, I was really surprised today. There's Chinese all over the place taking pictures up here. It's really changing, even here in Washington, D.C. Although I don't think there's a large group of people right now moving to D.C. yet. There is a large Chinatown, but let them dream. And let you be the guide to help them dream about your area, and good things will come to pass. So, Paul from China Cash Buyers, thank you for listening. Go to ChinaCashBuyers.com and put in your email to get our free mini course. And our YouTube channel is youtube.com/ChinaCashBuyers. Thank you very much for watching.